White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London, stand strong, in the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder, to the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes, glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. The pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Yes, we're back and welcome to THFC Till I Die, home Tottenham past, present, and exciting future, of course, under Ange Postecoglou. And look who's back.
Hello.
Look who's back. Look who's
Back
back
again.
from back again.
Back again.
Back.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Some say he could be a multi-billionaire and nobody knows about it. But some also say that he's probably one of the nicest people in YouTube. It is Tequila316. He is back. Before we get into all the nonsense and all the my usual rip-roaring start to do the shows, how are you, Tequila? And welcome back home, where you belong.
I am finally on the road to recovery after about 4 months or so of being ill, and for multiple reasons, which I won't bore you guys with. Some of you guys know, but diabetes and stuff like that. But all I'll say is, if you are a diabetic, check your feet every night. That's all I'll say about that. That's my good deed of the day done. Check your feet every night if you're a diabetic, or don't become diabetic in the first place. That's the best idea.
Yeah. Well, look, it's great to have you back, man. I have missed you.
Yeah, I know you've been doing a lot of solo stuff there, mate, hanging in there. Hopefully I'm on the road to recovery now. Touch wood. So yeah, I'm back. Not sure how much I've missed because it's not exactly been the best season of recent memory. So I guess I picked a good year to get ill, I suppose.
I think you did. But look, it isn't over. We do have a semi-final tomorrow, and I'm going to start off with this stat, and it is a cracker of a stat. I did put the stat in our little private group chat yesterday to Colin did put a funny comment to it, actually, as well. Big up, Colin, if you're watching. He says Tottenham, and this is the stat, and it is a great stat, by the way, and I did say it within our predicted lineup show, which will be out after this show. I've got to put it up on YouTube yet, but it is recorded. It's in the bag. The thumbnail's done. It just needs to be put up. So watch for 10 o'clock tonight. My predicted lineup show will be out. Tottenham have never lost when playing the first leg of a League Cup semi-final tie, including a single game ties at home, winning 5 and drawing twice. Very quickly, before we get into it proper, is that something we can hang our hats on, that stat, Tequila? Is that something we can, do you know what? Maybe.
I don't really believe in a superstition. Do you remember when the old superstition used to be if the year ends in 1, we win a trophy?
Well, we did. We did from 1951 to 1991, to be fair.
Yeah, but it hasn't happened since. That doesn't mean, I don't know, look, I said to you, in private chat, I've said it's not an impossible task. We just need an early red card or something. So,
yeah.
We need
an early goal.
Yeah, and we need a rash challenge from one of their defenders so that they can get a red, and then we can score bucket loads in the first leg, and then it'll be too much for them to come back to in the second leg. That's why I'm hanging my hat on anyway.
You want a 5-0 first leg win so we can go.
Yeah, then we've got a chance. But then again, they'll probably go and score 6 at Anfield. So
yeah, Liverpool are probably the best team in the league right now. Would you say they're the best team in Europe right now?
they've got to be up there, haven't they?
Yeah,
they're certainly the best team in England. That's pretty obvious. It looks like they're going to walk the league more or less, which at least Arsenal aren't going to win it again. So Arsenal again are also runs.
That's good. But do you look at Liverpool? Slot was really lucky to come into that side. You look at Ange. Ange has got to build the side, Tequila. He's got to get out the dead wood, bring in the new breed, and build it up from scratch. Where Slot sort of walked into Liverpool with it already there for him, already sort of built for him. He didn't have to do much. He didn't buy anyone in the summer.
Well, no, it's still
were there.
It's still mostly Klopp's team, and Klopp built a very good team, as we know. With Tottenham, we didn't have a particularly great team. We still don't, but we'll get into that, don't we?
We certainly will. Big up to everyone that is watching. Please like and subscribe on all platforms. Of course, you are watching this live on X. You are watching us live on our own YouTube channel, and of course on our sister channel as well, the Full Time Sports Network, our YouTube channel. Before we get going, I just want to mention our sponsor. Of course, our channel sponsor, Private Internet Access, and just very quickly go through what you can get with the best VPN in town, and also a very proud sponsor of this channel. Of course, when you're doing your normal business on the internet, hackers, government, and corporate people can buy all your internet stuff and that. I think that's how it goes. But if you have the VPN in charge, it blocks all them. They can't touch it whatsoever. You can use it on your phone as well, anywhere in the world. You can be in the middle of Dublin City and you fancy watching American Netflix, just put on your private internet access and you're in New York City. You can use it direct to your laptop as well, linked up, pair them together. And Tequila, you can watch it on all platforms, can't you? You can watch it on Netflix. You can watch it on
Disney it's pretty Plus. Good. I've only just got Netflix and I've been using it to extend the library of Netflix. Let's give it that.
You can use it on all your devices, from your Xbox to your internet television. And one person has in the house, everyone can use it, unlimited devices. It is used around the world, from Argentina to South Africa to Morocco to China to Australia. It hides your IP address as well, so nobody gets hold of that. They'll also get rid of all your digital footprint as well, which is great. It's got 30 million subscribers already. And on the Trustpilot, it's got 4.5 stars on the Trustpilot. That is our channel sponsor. That is the private internet access. It is €45 for 2 years plus 4 months free at the end of it. So if you get that, it helps them. It helps us as well. It helps us keep doing what we're doing, helps us grow, helps us get more content out there, better graphics, better software, better everything, so we can bring you the best YouTube content, Tottenham content we can, and make us the #1 Irish Spurs channel. Sorry, Dave, if you're watching, we're on the prowl. We're on the march. We may be #2, but we want to be #1. And do it. You've got it. I've used it. It's great for the Saturday blackouts, isn't it, Tequila?
Yeah, mate. And as I said, also for streaming services as well, it gives you extra films and stuff to watch. Yeah. What you don't get in the UK ones, so definitely worth it if you're into films as well, dude. Not sports, but also films and TV shows as well from America, stuff like that. All good. Yeah,
and also if you want to do, the link is in the chat. The link is also in the description below as well. It is piavpn.com/THFC till I die, all one word, all in capital letters. Big up the column as well. Big up column. Need to focus on the side of TAA, and that's a massive weakness in this Liverpool side. I think he makes a very good point about Trent Alexander-Arnold at the moment. He's not playing well, Tequila. He is having a few problems. They got the Real Madrid rumors. Isn't he going? Do you think? I mean, there's rumors that he will be left out of tomorrow's team. Do you think Arne Slot will be, when he picks his 11 or when Ange picks his 11, they're going to be very minded about Trent Alexander-Arnold and the mindset he is going through at the moment?
as Com says, he's certainly a weakness. He's certainly a weakness defensively. Obviously, going forward, he's probably the best right back in the league. But defensively, yeah, he's not very good. As for if his head's been turned by Madrid, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's not like he's playing for a small club. He's playing for a club who's most likely going to win the Premier League this year. So I don't know if his head been turned. Maybe in the summer, but I don't think so. I
he's
just
out
don't.
of contract, isn't he? He's not.
Yeah, and he'll most likely leave Liverpool in the summer, and he'll leave Liverpool a Premiership winners. So I understand what Com's saying. Though. Defensively, he's always been weak. That's one of the reasons why he couldn't get into the England squad, dude.
Yeah,
because he Southgate didn't feel he could trust him defensively. So.
But no, I think it's somewhere we need to focus. But I just don't know if Slot will pick him tomorrow. I've got a very funny feeling he won't be picked. Well, that's what I'm reading from all like the predicted lineups, that he's not even in the starting 11. He's in the squad, but he's on the subs, but he's not in the starting 11. And that really makes me think the Slot see that as a weakness, and he wants to shore up that side of the defense. But who do we have on that side anyway to penetrate that? We don't have anyone really firing on all cylinders to Janet. I
don't think anyone's really going to make him quake in his boots, is it? Let's be honest.
Not really. Big up to DJ as well. DJ, we've got your team. We're going to rate your team tonight as well. Me and Tequila, we're going to look at it and we'll bring it up. And you're starting Spurs 11. I had to change a few things around because of the suspensions and the Madison and Sarr, but it is your 11. So I hope it's okay what I've done. But majority is yours. DJ is a member as well, so do pick up your memberships and be like DJ for the game against who we got Saturday. We have Everton, I think. For the game Saturday, get over to the is it Everton?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Get over to our X page at James Moores 10 to send me a message. Bless you. Send me a message. And put your predicted lineup in there. We will put it together for you and we will bring it up. And me and Tequila will rate your 11 and give it a mark out of 10. Bobby does this in this channel. It looks a lot of fun. So I decided to do it on here as well. And just make the pre-match show a little bit of fun, really.
Also,
just so
guys, if you want to throw us a super chat as well, then to help, if you want to ask us a question or anything like that, send in a super chat and stuff like that, guys.
It all helps. It all helps. And that is the link for the VPN. Of course, 2 years access plus 4 months free for €45. You cannot grumble at that. Well, bit of news broke this morning, Tequila, that Captain Sonny, big up Sonny, Captain Fantastic himself, Heung-min Son and Tottenham continued together for one more season as planned. Spurs have activated the clause into his contract and is now valid until June 2026. This was the plan since December and is now being confirmed. Look, there was a bit of talk about it beforehand, Tequila, about will he sign, won't he sign, could he be looking at other clubs? Barcelona apparently was sniffing around the other day with one of the rumours we were talking about the other day. We got from a source who is absolutely top-notch, our source, by the way. What do you feel about Sonny? Do you think this is going to be his last sort of contract extension? And if so, do you think he'll end up in South Korea?
I never thought he was going to go. I always thought this was going to be what happens because Sonny, because of the amount of money he brings in from South Korea, not just South Korea, from Asia as a whole, if you look at it from a financial standpoint, which we know that our mate Danny Boy normally does, Son's one of those rare players who more or less plays for free because the extra money he brings in covers his wages. So all the extra other merchandise and stuff like that we get from South Korea and Asia, more or less, I'd imagine probably covers his wages. So technically we get him for free. So on that basis, why would you not sign him for another year? And to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if we have this rolling 1 year contract that it will ultimately depend on how far down he drops. And that's with all due respect. Do you know what I mean? If he becomes a liability, then that's an issue. I don't think he's a liability yet. But if he becomes a liability, then of course, then that's a different story. But whilst he can still be okay, and that's the term I use, okay, then he's more or less playing for free, dude. So
do you feel though the captaincy needs to be given to somebody else? Do you feel we need a new captain for? Do you think and should change the captaincy?
I think if I saw an obvious replacement, I'd say yes, but I don't particularly see an obvious replacement. I
Not
suppose
Kulu.
no, not for me. The closest one I'd say would be Romero, but Romero, as we know, can be hot-headed. I would have gone with, at the start of the season. I would have gone with Romero, but as the season's worn on, he hasn't exactly had the best. Well, no, none of our defenders have particularly been that good this season, but he hasn't been the best this season. Let's be honest. That being said, the other two candidates, or the other two of the kind of the trio of captains, you can't say any of them have been particularly amazing this year. Maddison, Sonny, or Romero. I would have chosen Romero probably because I like my captains to generally be in defence. So, or a defensive midfielder like a Roy Keane. I don't mind a captain being like a Roy Keane. I know that obviously Lloris was our captain mostly. I don't like the keeper. So for me, it's a centre half or a defensive midfielder is what I like personally.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. It is a centre half or a defender for me. Captains or goalkeepers and strikers are not captains for me. You look at the likes of Kulu, for me, I think he'd be good captaincy, but none of our leadership, they've come into criticism this season. The leadership group have not been there. And you see during games where we are not playing well, there's nobody there, a bit like us. Look, in my time, I can remember as a kid, Steve Perriman or Graham Roberts or Paul Miller, somebody giving you, or like when you started watching Tottenham, who'd you have? Justin Edinburgh and Gary Mabbutt.
There you go. So, I think this will depress you and anyone else watching. I think the first captain I saw when I got into Spurs was Sol Campbell. Lucky me, eh?
Yeah, look how that ended up.
Yeah.
But look, even captains we've had since Teddy Sheringham, we just need that Roy Keane type striker that can be in the middle of the park, take you by the scruff of the neck, and tell you if you're, call out your bullshit and say you're not playing your game. Play.
You need a certain type of personality, and also I think it's where you also position of the pitch. So it's like if you're a centre half, or if you're a holding midfielder, you got a much more wider range. You can see a lot more of what's actually going on and do instructions. If you're at the keeper, you can say, well, you're maybe a little bit too far back, and if you're a striker, you're a little bit too far forward. So for me, it's got to be in centre half or centre mid position.
But for me, Sonny's been a great ambassador for the club anyway. He's been a great role model. And also, I think he's been kept for another year to look after this younger South Korea player as well. So he has a year under the wing of Sonny as well. So I think that has something to do
that'll
with
help
it.
That will help him. But like I say, he really is a player who plays for free because of the extra revenue he brings. I mean, there's not many players who you say can do that. But Sonny is one of those. He's probably the most well-known player in Asia, I'd say. Maybe, and you've got like Salah, who obviously he's Egyptian, so that's Africa. But you know what I mean. You've got Sonny, who just the people who come to see him from across the world cover any wages. So, like I say, it's almost like a freebie. That's how it is anyway.
It is, yeah, it is. Look, well, that's Sonny. He's signed up for another year, so we're glad that's over with. Any news today that come out with you? We've got the Paris Saint-Germain player. Tottenham are linked with him. There's a lot of different players we're linked to it. But what do you feel about our first signing, our goalkeeper, Tequila? I haven't really had a chance to talk about. Have you seen videos of him online? Has he impressed you? Do you feel that it's a good move? We have brought him forward from the summer, so Tottenham must see something in him to bring him forward.
I've seen the highlight packages like most people, but you need to be careful with highlight packages, dude. If you watch highlight packages, Ndombele was amazing and was the best player in the world until we got him, and then we realized, oh yeah, he is a talented player, but he has got the mentality of a goldfish. They obviously have identified him. They've probably been watching him for a long time. Is he on the young side for a keeper? Yes. Does that make him bad? No. Is another one for the future. Can he come in right away? I don't know. I do think it. I said in our chat the other day and got actually blasted by a couple of people because I dared to call him a youth signing. But in my mind, he is a youth signing, and especially in the goalkeeper. When I say youth signing, I don't mean like somebody who's plays for under 16s or anything. Obviously not. But what I mean is he's on that kind of like My fear, Dermo, is that he's another one of these so-called club signings and not a signing the manager wanted. Hopefully, that's not the case. But
I get what you're saying. I don't think so. I think it's an Ange signing. And look, I agree with you. He is young, and you don't know what he's going to be like. But he doesn't lack in self-confidence. He doesn't lack in his self-belief in himself. He doesn't lack that, which for me shows a good sign. And you look at Brandon Austin. Why have we not used him? Why it was only Saturday we give him his debut? Do you know what I mean? And people saying he should start tomorrow night, but there was a reason why he was never picked by every other manager. And Ange only had to use him because he desperately had to. Do you feel if this other keeper to come in before Foster become ill, do you feel this other keeper would have got the head start over Brandon Austin, or do you think Austin would have started anyway?
I think the interesting thing is most likely is that after Forster came down with this illness, this virus, we probably panicked a little bit and brought this transfer through. But whilst we were bringing this transfer through, Austin went and had probably the game of his life, to be honest, even though because he's played so little, had the game of his life. And then maybe if I would have been Ange, I would have been like, maybe we don't need to spend the 12 million, but if we were going to spend it anyway, I suppose it doesn't matter. But the thing is Levy going to be like, and we know what Levy's like, is Levy going to be like, well, that 12 million we've spent, that'll be coming out, that's 12 million less we'll have in the summer.
Yeah. I know. And also because Foster's off at the end of the season, Whiteman's off at the end of the season, both of them contracts expire in the summer. So then you're left with 3 goalkeepers. So you're left with Vicario.
That's about right, yeah.
You're left with who's the other one? Josh Keeley as well. You're left with the other under-21 goalkeeper and this young lad from Czech Republic.
Isn't Gunter
also?
Yeah.
And for me, Josh Keeley's done very well. Josh Keeley's done extremely well. And so is Jamie Donnelly as well. You see, goal scored at the weekend for Leyton Orient.
Yeah.
That was tighter than Johnson's chance against Newcastle.
It depends, Dermo, on the goalkeeper situation. It depends how much you trust our scouts. Now, under Paratici, I had a lot more faith under Paratici. Under Lange, much less so.
I'd say I've started it. #GetLang out, bring back the Don. And he is back in the building. He is back at Tottenham consultant at the moment, Tequila. So he's maybe why I've got confidence this PSG signing loan might happen is because he's dealing with it. He's behind the scenes, pulling the strings. So
he's definitely got the best track record of our recent director of footballs or whatever you want to call him.
I want to ask you a question, Tequila, on that. Do you feel you look at Paratici and the players he brought in, and you look at our last transfer window? Paratici really showed what he can do. You look, he brought in Vicario, Romero, Van der Ven, Porro, Udogie, Basuma, Papa Sarr. He brought in basically the spine of the squad.
I think it's pretty obvious that he knows the two Italian division, the Italian leagues very well. I think Udogie is a very good player. It's a different argument about how he's being played, and we can get into that maybe another time. But as a you got to remember, he was bought as a wing back, and initially he was bought for Conte. You got to remember that initially.
Oh yeah. And
in Conte's system, it'd probably be a world beater. But he's not. He's being asked. He's being asked to do something completely different from what he originally was bought for, which isn't the lad's fault.
No. So, in your very quick question before we get to the comments, would you be one for arguing to go back to a back 3
with the players we have currently? Yes.
Yeah. But we're moaning under Conte with the back 3. It doesn't work. So,
and that's right. And it was dull, but he also had crap players. He had much worse players than. For that system than he's got now.
Yeah.
But Ange, it's just one of those things where, hindsight is 50. It's 50-50. It's like, we bought in Porro as a wing back. We bought in Udogie as a wing back. They would have been really good in Conte's system. And then Conte and obviously the club fall out, which you could say people should have seen it coming, but nobody can really tell the future. and then that's it. We've already got the players, so Ange comes in, and now it's his job to try to turn these wing backs into not only fullback, but now he wants some inverted fullbacks.
Yeah.
So it's both a role that neither one of them has played before, and they're being asked to do this role.
But when the back five are playing, we sort of have a better record. But listen, let's get through these comments because they are building up a bit, and then we will get into the Liverpool game. Big up to DJ, says good evening, Coys. Tomorrow's a big game. Plus, my late grandfather was a Liverpool fan. Sadly, he passed away in 2023 from cancer. Well, firstly, we're very sorry to hear that, DJ. And
sorry to hear that, DJ.
You and your family. And please accept our condolences. But yeah, we got your lineup coming, so we're going to look forward to look over that one. You picked a very good side, by the way. Colin is saying Sonny is the equivalent of Ji-sung Park.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I would say that he was a good player, wasn't he?
He was a good player, and he also brought a whole big audience from Asia with him as well, which more or less means that United more or less got him for free because the extra money came in paid for his weightage. So it's a similar thing.
Yeah, wasn't he linked with Tottenham at one point?
I don't remember that, unless it was one of the years when maybe he was always a squad player. He was never.
Yeah.
He wasn't like a starter for United per se.
No.
He was more of a squad player for them, wasn't he? Com, I'm sure will tell me if I'm wrong, but I remember him being more of a
I
squad
just
player.
don't know. Maybe Colin will tell us, but I just have a feeling, wasn't he linked with Spurs once? I don't think so. I can't remember. I'm big up Neil Shafton. I don't think this captain on the field is necessarily the same as it used to be. I think for speaking to the ref, Son is level-headed, but if it's a fire that needs to be lit under a team, it should be Kulu. I agree with that 100%. Really do agree with that. Big up to DJ. Hopefully Son will retire at Tottenham. Let's hope so too.
Probably.
Colin is the man who is an ex-goalkeeper himself, so he's more experienced about goalkeepers than you and me put together, Tequila, to be fair.
Well, he says he's not very impressed with the guy we've bought.
He's not convinced with your new keeper. Well, is it a case of if he plays well tomorrow night, that all them is it more of a fear factor with Tottenham fans with this new keeper? I remember when Eric Torsvet made his debut for Spurs, made the two biggest blunders you could ever make as a goalkeeper against Nottingham Forest, I think. And it was live on TV as well. So this was being broadcast around the world and he makes two massive fucking blunders. Turns out to be probably a great goalkeeper, one of Tottenham's great goalkeepers, but nobody ever heard of him. Nobody heard of.
We've gone through a lot of goalkeepers, dude. Do you remember players like Gomez who couldn't kick? Do you remember Gomez when he couldn't kick the football and he had to get one of the centre halves or one of the fullbacks to do the long kick because he just could not kick the football long.
Paul Robinson, another one.
I liked Robbo. Robbo is one of my favourites.
Yeah,
he had a mistake in him, but I liked him.
Yeah, I did. He scored a goal, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did actually. Yeah. Was it against Wigan?
I can't remember who it was, but I remember it's just like it's massive bounce and he just goes over the keeper's head.
Keeper's head. I remember that. Big up to Colin. Big up to Neil. He's got a lot of miles in his 21-year-old body. Experience is much greater than Foster's, and Austin it is. He's been active in the Czech Premier League, which means he's not been on the bench, and he's got a very good record as well. He's got good stats as well. I think it's. Out of 19 games, he's conceded only 7 goals and kept 12 clean sheets, Tequila, which is not bad.
I won't claim to know that. I won't claim to know much about him, but if you're asking me to just trust our scouts, I'm struggling when you're asking me to do that leap of faith. But we'll see. Yeah.
If there are Paratici scouts, we would say no problem in the Dom.
Yeah, if it's Paratici who's been scouting him, then I've got a lot more faith.
Yeah. He'll make him an offer he can't refuse. Yeah, that's to the PSG lad. And then Colin saying he was before United got him. I thought he was. I just in the back of my head, I thought we were linked with him. Yes, and he was a squad player. He was a great player. He was Alex Ferguson's little general. And I think Fergie said when they lost to Barcelona in the European Cup or Champions League final back in I think it was 2008 or 9. He said he should have bought on Jun-Sung Park for the second half against Messi. He said he would have kept him really quiet. That's how good of a player he was, Tequila.
He was a good player. I remember him. Remember
Right,
him.
Tequila, we are tomorrow night is the big game. We are playing Liverpool at home in the League Cup semi-final first leg. It's at 8 p.m. It's at the greatest stadium in the world, the White Hart Lane, not the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's not called that. It's built on White Hart Lane. It is White Hart Lane. It would always be built White Hart Lane. Daniel Levy, get your finger out your ass and call it White Hart Lane because that's what it is. This is where you can watch the game in UK and Ireland. Of course, it is on Sky Sports. I think it is on Peacock UK in the USA, and on Canada it is Fubo TV. These are the injured players. We've got Fakaria out with an ankle, Davis out with the hamstring. We've got Van de Ven out with the hamstring, Romero out with the thigh, Udogie out with the hamstring, Sarr and Manderson are banned, and I forgot we even still had this player. Odegaard is out with the hamstring. We've seen him once, we've seen him twice, we've seen him 3 times, never to be seen again.
So Odegaard, it's looking less and less likely. Is he just not going to play again this season then?
I don't think he is. No, I don't think he is.
We sure know how to. We sure know how to pick him, don't we?
We do. It was like one. You see him once, you've seen him twice. The third time he disappears. But look, do you think the Manderson Sarr, we're going to miss them tomorrow night?
I'm not in love with any of our midfielders, Dermo. I kind of said that to you before.
Yeah.
I'm not. I find them all a little bit interchangeable. Madders is one of those players who we know on his day can be great, but his day doesn't appear that often.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is your predicted 11. As you can see, I've done it all nicely for you with your name and logo there. Look at that, Tequila, all done for you nicely.
Lovely.
Do you want to go through your predicted 11 and sort of explain to people who you've picked?
Okay, so I've gone with Austin over the new keeper just because it's one of those things, I guess, just how I feel about like the shirt is yours to you. You know, if he has a bad game, then the other guy steps in. But until he has a bad game, I think the shirt's his. So that's why I've kept with Austin. The 2 centre halves, there are no other options, Dermo. It's as simple as that. There are no other options, right? Regulon, I think, is a decent left back, obviously. But like we talked about the other left backs, he's obviously not going to be used to playing the Ange system where the inverted stuff. But apparently he wasn't actually being that inverted in the game against Newcastle. So maybe he's been given instructions, or maybe Ange has realised, okay, Regulon's barely played for me. He's only going to be playing a couple of games before Jed Spence comes back. Or before Ndoggy comes back, so I'm just going to not invert him. I'm just going to say fine.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to. I'm not even going to bother to try and train you in that position because you're not going to be in my team long enough. Porro, I love Pedro Porro, but defensively he's been caught out an awful lot this season, Dermo.
Yeah,
but
I mean the cross though for the goal.
Well, that's why you keep him in because offensively you could make an argument that he's our most creative player. He's certainly, I think, our best crosser of the ball.
Oh yeah, by a mile.
I think the 2 midfielders, Kulusevski, I'd like him a little further up the pitch, but that's just how I would play this system. Ange doesn't play that system. I'd have Bissouma. I'd have a number 6 in the team, but we know that Ange generally doesn't want to use a number 6. So I've put Kulusevski in the centre mid. You could arguably say that you could put Bergville there and put Kulusevski a bit further up the field. Those two are a little bit interchangeable for me. Do you know what I mean? You could easily reverse those two because I think they do a similar role. Werner, it's depressing to me that I have to start Werner.
Why haven't you started Son?
I just think that Sonny is in that position now where he's just his levels just dropped off to where he is. Yeah. He's an impact sub. He's an impact sub. He's a guy you bring on for 30 minutes. That's what I think he is now. And people might not like it. That's what I think he is now. And I think if you keep him as that, then that's why I don't mind keeping him for another year. Because that's what I think he'll be doing. Unfortunately, for the rest of his Spurs career, I don't expect him to start that many games, or at least I wouldn't have him start that many games. So I've gone with Werner kind of begrudgingly. and Johnson, of course, begrudgingly, and Solanke again. There's no really other choices, but I dislike Richarlison anyway, so I'd always choose Solanke over Richarlison. So Dirty Dom's up front.
I look, I can't argue with that lineup. It's a very solid lineup. I mean, Colin here made a very good point. And before we get to your other comments, well, I just want to bring this one up. He said you need to pack your middle, otherwise McAllister will run the game, and he will. So is there a cry out for a 3-5-2 tomorrow to back out the midfield with 5 in midfield?
Who do we play as the other centre half as in a 3-5-2 though?
Who played there on Saturday? Jed Spence played centre half Saturday.
I mean, he wouldn't be my choice as a centre half.
No.
I mean, I suppose you'd put Bissouma. Maybe you'd have Bissouma slightly ahead of them.
Yeah.
Not quite as deep as Gray and that. And then you'd have Kulusevski. I mean, but when you think about Kulusevski and Bergvall both in a centre midfield role, I suppose you could do that, I suppose. Again, none of these options sound amazing, do they?
No, they don't. They really don't. But look, you picked a side, but we'll get to the comments in a minute, guys. I know there's some really good comments in there, so we'll get to them after we do this. This is DJ's lineup. He's gone with Brendan Austin. So similar to you. Brendan Austin in goal. Yeah. Reguilon, Archie Gray, Tredragson, and Porro. Both of you haven't gone for Spence. I have. Just a little tip into my predicted lineup. Geordie's in the wind up in the chat. I can see you, Geordie. I can see you.
The only difference DJ's done to me is that he's actually put Son in. Other than that's the only difference. He's put Son in, whereas I've gone with Werner.
Do you think Sonny works more defensively? Is Brennan Johnson? Look, you both picked Brennan Johnson, right? And let's go back to that's DJ's, and this is your lineup, right? Brennan Johnson. Defensively, he doesn't do the work right, does he, Tequila?
No, he trots around and people have. You've seen the same stuff I have regarding people like having pictures of him and gifs of him kind of trotting around like he's a pony and stuff like that. There's a lot of gifs around, which is quite funny, but also it's indicative of some of the flaws in his game, which obviously Ange needs to work on. Because obviously we can't have passengers like that, dude. We can't afford to have passengers like that.
I saw him against Nottingham Forest. I did the watch along, and he was just, hiding. I don't know if it was, it was Forest. He was hiding.
It's his old club as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he was hiding. At one point, I was just, it's been a run. But anyway, out of 10, what do you give DJ's predicted lineup out of 10?
Well, if I'm giving myself a good rating, then since his is like 90% the same as me, then if I'm giving myself an 8 because I'll be modest, then I'll give him a 7 because he's only got one wrong from my perspective. There you go. I'm going to give you an 8, and I'm going to give DJ an 8. I think they're both really good lineups. I think you've went more logical than I did. To be fair, as I said, I made a few more changes. Maybe to the defense, then to the midfield and up front. But I haven't started, and I think I'm giving you an 8 because you were brave starting Werner. I think you just brave doing that. In general, you deserve an 8. So big up to you, lads. I want him to earn his 165k or whatever we're paying him a week. Dude.
Yeah. If you want to get involved, do follow us on X. Do send it over there. Do send it to the email as well. The email is descripted below in the description, and we will get back to you as well. Let's go to the chat very quickly before we carry on with the build-up. In the Czech League, those stats are good, but the jumper quality is massive. I wouldn't throw this lad in. He will need time to adapt, so be patient with him. Still finding out how to play. And she's got a very big decision to make tonight, hasn't he, for tomorrow? And Fraser Foster's now back training as well. So what do you do? And also Mikey Moore is back training and could be. He's 50-50. I watched his press conference today, and I took down notes of the press conference. And there was some stuff in the press conference, Tequila, that made me sort of, stand up and thought, what? Are you sure? Are you serious? Let me get to it. Yeah. He said Mikey Moore is back and it's 50-50, basically. The new goalkeeper is 50-50 to start. Mikey Moore could make an appearance. Firstly, on Mikey Moore, are you glad he's back? Secondly, do you think Ange might throw a curveball and start him tomorrow?
If Mikey Moore is fit, then the formation, the players I gave you can replace Werner with Mikey Moore.
Yeah.
If Mikey Moore's fit. And you might say, oh, that's good. Well, no, I'd rather play a player who, as long as he's fit, you don't want, if he's not fit enough to do 90 minutes, then fine. But if he is fit enough to do 90 minutes, or the manager feels that he is, then I'd start him over Werner every day of the week. Because Werner is, I'll be shocked if Werner's here next year. But I was shocked he was, to be honest, I was shocked he was here this year. I thought it was only going to be for 6 months because Sonny was away last January. That's all I thought it was.
Yeah.
But then he got another year. So you might as well blood more in rather than. I know that it's the semi-finals, but I don't think I don't think Werner gives a shit. I think when Ange called him out, a lot of people didn't like that. Some did, some didn't. But
I think he's right to.
I just think it showed that Werner doesn't really give a shit. He's here because he's getting paid probably 3 times more than he deserves to get paid. That's why he's here. So
yeah, I totally agree with you. I think Andrew was right to give out to him and call him out. I think he was. And any other player that would inspire somebody, that would inspire that player to prove the manager wrong. He hasn't. It's just proved Dan's right, to be fair.
Well, that's because he's playing against other players. Like I say, he'll probably. Yeah. I mean, how much do you think Mikey Moore's getting a week compared to Timo Werner?
I'd say Mikey Moore's getting about 30-40 grand a week.
Right. So you've got Timo Werner, he's getting paid 5 times the amount. And I'd choose Mikey Moore over Timo Werner every day of the week. So
same here. Odegaard is out towards the end of the season. His injury looks fairly innocuous. When it happened, it did. And he's just been out and out. I don't think we'll see him to next season, sadly, because I think he's a good player, Odegaard, to be fair. He's very quick. When he did come on, when he was playing, before he got injured, I forget who he was against. He was very lively, and I like what I saw.
Honestly, I haven't seen enough of him, Demo, to make a informed decision.
He was the best player on the pitch at the weekend. I would say, if he's talking about Austin, then yeah, he was.
Do you mean Austin?
Yeah. I think Austin was. He deserved his man of the match, by the way. Son Jr. isn't eligible to play. You would think with Werner in his piss-poor play, he'd start him over Werner. Salah's going to shred our defense. Who can keep up there? Yeah. To me, Salah is like on a different planet. But cups are cups. Cup games are funny old things, Tequila. Tottenham before, when their backs have been against the wall, have come out of nowhere and won 2-legged ties. Do you think we could do it, or am I being a bit? I know I'm known for my delusion.
No, and this is Tottenham we're talking about, and Tottenham do this quite often. They are absolute garbage against teams that they should be beating, and then they'll just have one of those nights where they'll be amazing just for that one night, and nobody will see it coming. So that's why I suppose we've always got a chance, because if we do have one of those nights, and it's not often, but we do have them, where everything kind of clicks, then it's to be honest, if it was a one-legged affair, I actually would give us a much higher chance. Unfortunately, because it is 2 legs, it means that Liverpool get, it means we have to turn up twice. That's the problem.
Or we win 4-0 tomorrow night.
And then they win 5-0 against us next time.
Big up to Geordie. Now, look, I'm going to give Geordie his credit. He did come in after Gordon scored, and I think you said, Geordie, we were lucky to get away with that one. I've had my rant on that VAR goal, and I will continue. I think VAR, and this tomorrow, we're going to talk about it as well, Tequila, about the refs talking to the crowd.
They do that in America. They do that in a lot of
American
sport.
But if they want to start a riot in the stadium, I think you're going to right about it. Anyway, Geordie. Oh, they're beating Arsenal. That's what he's on about.
They're playing tonight, are they?
Yeah. Newcastle are 1-0 up at Arsenal.
Oh, well done. Keep up the good work, team.
Come on, Newcastle. I'm a Newcastle fan tonight. And it's Isaac that's given them a lead. Big up, Geordie. Big up, Geordie.
Dermo, we should have gone for Isaac before Newcastle did.
We should have done that.
He
I was thinking that.
He wasn't a hidden gem either. He was well known to a lot of teams. We could have had a chance.
Yeah, but come on, Newcastle. Come on. Let's beat the Arsenal. Let's put Arsenal out of sight. This is Columns starting 11. We've got to rate Columns as well. So we've got to be okay. This is good. Do you want to read it out? Tequila, go on. You read it out, sir.
Okay, so Columns gone for Austin and he's gone for Spence. I'm assuming that's left back. Yeah. He's gone for Gray Dragusin at centre half. Oh, hold on, no, he's put Reggie as well. Where are you playing Spence then?
I think he's playing the 3-5-2.
So he's playing the 3-5-2. Okay, so he's putting Spence at centre half. Okay.
Yeah.
Porro right wing back, Reggie left wing back. Okay. Bissouma, Bergvall, Johnson, Son, Kulu, and Dom. For a 3-5-2, yeah. I don't know about Reguilon as a wing back. I mean, he is a left back, obviously, but I don't know. Would you say he's a good enough attacker, Dermo, to be a left wing back?
I'd say so. He is, yeah. I think he could do that job. I quite like that. I know what Colin is saying. I know what Colin's trying to
see. I'd rather put Spence at left wing back, but I don't think Reguilon can play centre back. So.
No, he can't. He can't. So I'm gonna give that. Do you want to give it you give it a rating first? Go on.
I'll give it a 7. I think
I'm gonna give it 7.5. I like it. Because I like it. Why give it 7.5 is because I like it. Because he's absolutely gone out the park, outside the drawing board with it. And I think it's a right. And when he says we need to pack the midfield tomorrow night, we've all missed that. I like that. I like that lineup. Big up. If you want to be like Colin as well, you are a member. Get in your lineup. We'll get them up definitely for Liverpool, definitely for the next Premier League game. Get them over to the email and either to me and send them over to me in the email, or send them to me on our X account, and we will get them up and rate them. But big up Colin as well. Good lineup as well. I like that lineup. Gone completely different. Something that Tequila wouldn't have thought of doing. Big up to Neil Shafton.
It'd be better under Conte as well, Com. To be honest,
yeah, it would have been actually. Saying that, Mikey Moore probably has more muscles. What's that? More
skeletal
weakness due to his prolonged activity. Yeah, probably. That's the point. He has not been well recently.
I can tell you this, Neil. He's got more backbone than Werner does. Yeah, then again, so do I.
He's got more front bone too,
and composure. Is there a player with worse composure than Timo Werner? If so, show me them.
Did you see the one when he tried to trap the ball that just went straight under his foot? I mean, a 3-year-old could trap the ball better. Just send him back.
I mean, he's obviously got really good talent to pace and stuff like. He's obviously got stuff about him, but if you can't put it all together, and he still can't at the age of what is he, 29 now?
Yeah,
he's probably never going to, is he?
No. Mikey's around 67k a week, still a lot for a young lad. Good evening, gents, and everyone in the chat. Good evening, Mr. Carl Simpson. For my sins, come on, you Spurs. Big up to DJ. Yes, Newcastle. He says Isaac scored. Neil saying, can we get Lucas Moura back or Berg?
We've got a new member, Dermo. Just seen it in the chat.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Who is it? It is Fluffy. But big up. Welcome to the chat.
Fluffy.
Hang on.
Don't read the second. Okay, that name is trying to catch you out with that name. Don't read.
No, is it Fluffy Cockerel, 1882? Okay.
Yeah, but he's capital the shit.
I know what he's done. I know what he's done. But if you notice, I very quickly just went Fluffy Cockerel, 1982, 1882 he becomes a bronze member. So big up to you, Fluffy.
Cheers,
thank you so much indeed for your support. A lot of member stuff coming out your way as well, guys. So thank you so much. Do you want to say anything to him, Tequila?
No, mate. Thanks for the support. It all adds up. We're still trying to grow. We just hit 2K, but we're still looking for more members and everything. So yeah, stay tuned for some members content coming up.
Yeah. Big up, guys, and thank you so much. Really appreciate the support on our march to 3K as well. I want to also big up also to Mick Harmlock as well. Big up to Mick as well. Haven't seen you for a while. It says, hi, Dermot. Haven't been on. My wife's not well, only on for a bit. Well, Mick, I hope Mrs. Harmlock feels better soon. I hope everything is okay. If you need anything, you know where we are here. We're all here. Just reach out to any one of us and we're there for you. But big up to you as well. Big up, Mick. And great to see you in the chat. You have been missed, sir. You have been missed.
Good to see you, Mick.
Column says 3 at the back. Better win back than the centre back. He got forward on his loan at United. That's very good point. Actually, he did.
Yeah.
Hi, Carl Simpson. Big up to Fluffy. This is Tequila's team, Carl's team. Now, he's gone for a 4-2-3-1 formation, I think. So go on, Tequila. You read it out and give your
Austin, Porro, Dragusin, Gray, Spence. That's his back four. Bentancur, Basuma, and Bergvall. So in the midfield, Deki, Solanke, Son. So I'm assuming you're putting Deki on one of the wings then, Carl, it sounds like. From that formation. He's putting Deki on one of the wings. Unless he's playing 2 up front with Solanke and Son, which I don't think he is. Carl, are you playing 2 up front with that, or is Deki on the wing? You just have to let us know.
Just don't mention out what I've just put in the private chat. Don't say anything, though. Anyway, what would you? Yeah, he says white ring. We need to put out in our midfield. So, what would you give that out of 10 for that lineup?
I don't like Deki on the wing. I know why he's done it, but I don't like Deki on the wing. I think he lacks that kind of pace, and he's predictable. But so
he did
Carl,
play there.
Boo, Carl, boo! You get a 6.
He did play there against Man City and run the show from the wing, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe it's just personal preference for me. My idea of a winger, or I suppose a wide forward, depending on what you want to call them nowadays, is not Deki. Deki should be played through the middle. I think he's proven that as well, generally. But no, it's like, we're short of options, and Carl's gone for him on the wing, bro. So,
well, I'm going for a 7. I think it's not a bad lineup. So do put your lineups in. So do send them in for the next game, and we will rate them. Everyone's welcome and Fluffy in. Big up Fluffy.
Big up Fluffy.
Welcome in. Fluffy says, "Don't worry, I won't be missing in action." Fair enough.
Good.
That's what we like to hear from our members, isn't it? We don't want any member missing in action. That's what we like to hear. Yes, we need a way in. Column says the only worry is, Carl, with that midfield, you would struggle with Gravenberch and McAllister as they will have space. Yeah, that is true. That is so true. And then Carl says,
it's what I do, Carl.
Yeah.
It's what I do.
Yeah.
It's just who I am. To quote Ange, it's just who I am, mate.
Yeah, well, here he is. We all know you love a bit of Ange.
It's just who I am, mate.
We all love. It's just who you are, mate. He's gone again. He's come back again. This is about now. Tomorrow night's going to be an interesting night. Tonight you're using that, and I'd love to know what people have been used already. But VAR is going to be explained to the supporters. Now, this was mentioned at the start of the season. They were going to bring this in at the end of last season, and it's never really come about. Now, you look at what happened on Saturday, the goal that shouldn't have been a goal. I'm sorry. If his hand was not beside his body. His hand guided that ball to Bruno, who then led it on to Anthony Gordon. I am sorry. You have to be Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles not to see that. They would have even got that wasn't a goal. You put them in. I am sorry. So, them speaking, do you agree what Ange says here? He says, even with the Newcastle goal, do you think our supporters would have been happy? No, we wouldn't have been.
No.
So what do you think to this new rule they're bringing in?
I think it all evens out, Domo. I said this to you before. I just don't believe in this whole, I understand why people do it because we're all looking for a scapegoat. I honestly don't believe there is particular bias in refereeing. I really don't.
There is.
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't. I don't think I don't think any team generally gets the rub of the green. I mean, like more than others. When Man United were dominating, it was always said it was United who always got rob of the green, and then when it was Chelsea who were dominating, it was always said, "Oh, Chelsea got rob of the game," and now it was in City who gets rob of the green. So I understand why you do it. I get it, and I'm not slagging off anyone for doing it, but it's just not something I really believe in. But people make mistakes, but those mistakes are it's for all teams.
But their mistakes are happening again and again. So do you think
it always has been that way?
Yeah, but do you think explaining it to the fans will make a difference within the stadium?
No.
So do you think it should happen or not happen? Do you think it's just a waste of time?
I think it's a waste of time.
So are you for or against VAR?
I think originally I was for it, but it seems that human error is still playing a large part in it. So I don't think it's been the revelation it should have been. I still think you can use technology. I think technology works in other sports like tennis and stuff like that. I think they could do a much better job. But I think whichever technology they seem to put in, there's always some kind of human error attached to it. And whilst humans are, unless you make it all completely AI and humans have no say in it, then there's always going to be elements of human error. So you're always going to get stuff like this with people being accused of being certain fans or certain teams being accused of getting favoritism. Does that make sense?
It does. Look, for me, I think VAR should be getting rid of. She's only used for goal line technology, and that's it. I don't think Angie's right to be pissed about Saturday because that was a woeful decision. And that referee, Newcastle shouldn't be down to 9 men. But look, it is. I do agree with you. It does even its way out at the end of the season somehow, and I do agree with you on that. And also do agree with you. Teams do, like when Man United were dominating, it was always known that United would get 3 points in a penalty at Old Trafford. That was guaranteed. But where I don't agree with it is that VAR is a very corruptible with human beings. If you're using AI or use a computer to run it, then I don't think you would get as many mistakes.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like you either go all in with the AI, right, and you let it all be that way, or you don't do it at all. Because if you're doing the AI along with humans, you're still going to have the human error factor into it. And whilst also humans are involved, you're also going to have the fans thinking that, oh, he's being paid off or she's being paid off or he's a fan of a different football team. And I'm not saying none of these things can't ever happen, but I don't go with the conspiracy theories, really. I just don't.
I just don't know. I just don't know. For me, I think. Sorry.
Go on, Doma. Deal with it. I know what you're doing.
No, that's okay. We do have a bit of breaking news on this as well, so I am going to copy and paste it if that's okay, and bring it in so you guys were able to see it as well. But this is what's just come down on the floor. The FA will launch an investigation to Angie's comments. If he is found guilty of breaching manager conduct, he could face a touchlight ban that could be anywhere from 3 to 6 matches. What is your view on that straight away? That is breaking news. This is just broken the last couple of seconds, by the way. This was sent to me by our source. So are you surprised?
No, because I've done it before with other managers when other managers have said certain things. Do I think it would be a big impact? Certain managers who react a lot on the touchlines, then yes. But let's be honest, he kind of is not the most animated of managers. A lot of times he does stand there with his arms folded. Let's be honest. So will it be that big an impact? Not sure it will. Not for Ange.
No, but I think he's right. I think he needed. I think he was angry at what he said. I've never seen him as angry as he was on the weekend.
Oh well, because because he's under. See, Andrew's under pressure that he hasn't had in a long time because he was so successful at Celtic and those other clubs. He finds himself in a position he's not used to being in, so he's dealing with it. He's still human. He's dealing.
Yeah.
Do I think he's dealing with it that well? No, but I don't think I'd be dealing with it any better either. He's under quite a lot of pressure, and we're on a terrible run at the minute. So,
and also, players out, and he is under pressure.
Yeah, so he is under pressure. He finds himself in a position he's not that used to, and you could make an argument that this is when somebody's true character comes out. That's an argument that can be made. We don't know what the end result's going to be. We'll have to wait and see what the end result is. It might make him a better manager if he comes out. If he himself comes out the other side from this and he doesn't get fired and he does go on to give a success, it might be a great thing for him to have gone through this, because he probably hasn't gone through that much of this, because he's normally won most places he's gone to. I think maybe he had some problems when he was manager of Australia, didn't he?
He did, and he also, when he came into Celtic were in a hell of a place. We're in the right sort of mess. So he's had this before at Celtic as well. So I agree with you. I don't think I disagree what you just said, Tequila, to be fair. I think what you said is probably spot on, and he may come out of this the better than the worse for it. I think I really do.
Sometimes you do. You learn lessons when you're at your lowest, don't you?
Yeah, you do. But he says this about the VAR. He says at the same time, I have to accept it, that it's coming in. I have to accept that that this is the way forward. I have to accept that I have to be a part of it, but it shouldn't be surprised to anyone if I'm not a cheerleader for these kind of things. He's a very type of old school manager, isn't he, in a way? How he sees the game. He's very much a manager of the 80s and 90s.
Well, people forget, because he's so new to the Premier League and he's new to Europe in general. He's had 4 seasons in Europe.
Yeah.
He's an old manager in the great scheme of things. He's on the older side of management. So he's not like this young. It feels that way a little bit because he's fresh to our eyes and to this league. But he's been around the block, with all due respect. So he's seen a lot. I remember that.
And also he says we are still. They then talked about transfers and that. And he said we're still trying to help the squad and players. Postecoglou stated when asked about the French international, the PSG player who Tottenham are heavily linked to at the moment. We will have roughly 10 first-team players missing. Not easy. So we need still to try to help the playing group. Very quickly, Tequila, on this French PSG, do you think Tottenham might get him as a loan? They want 50 to 60 million for him. Do you think it would be a loan with an obligation? Or with an option? How would you?
I would imagine Levy would prefer an option to buy, just like the Werner deal was kind of an option to buy. I don't think you know what Levy's like. Let's be honest, we all do. But by now, we all should know anyway. I don't think he wants to pay that kind of money, especially without a trial. Why have an obligation if you can make it an option? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true. I agree with you. I think that's what he wants. I think hopefully we do get him because he's a good player. He really is a good player, and I think he would do good. But, Ange has to be backed in this window, Tequila. There's no question about it. He has to be backed. Levy has to start backing him. Where I do blame Levy is, and where I'm getting a bit annoyed with Levy, is that we did leave the manager high and dry in the summer window, and it's now come back to bite us on the arse. I keep repeating it, but it has.
Well, yeah, because we badly needed another left back, dude. We badly needed another left back, another player who could play centre back, left back. That was so obvious. That was so obvious to me, and I'm sure look, Ange knows more about building a team than I do. If it's obvious to me, I'm sure it's obvious to him. But for whatever reason, Levy, maybe Levy saw Reguilon, or we couldn't get Reguilon out, and Levy was like, okay, well, there's your left back. Ange's probably like, well, I don't really want him. But Levy's like, well, we can't get him off the books, so that's your left back.
Here's our new goalkeeper as well. Hang on, we're just getting some. Ooh, that's interesting. Now I'm waiting for confirmation if we can use that. So you're using the same source as me to get it. So if you do get the okay, and I'm doing something, will you give us the nods up?
No, I am getting the same message as you are, yeah.
Yeah, if you can give us the nod, if I can use that or not. This is our new goalkeeper. Welcome to the club, young man. He is one that we earmarked. Andrew was talking about him in the Oh, we can. Okay, big
Okay.
up. Do you want to break this actually? Go
Yeah, I'll
on,
break
you do
this.
it, Tequila. Hang on, let me take this down. Hang on, let me take this down. I know you do this bit of breaking news. Go on.
Okay, so the Colo deal, by the looks of it, it looks like the kid's got two options. So it's either United or Spurs. But Spurs apparently have the advantage as United need to offload. I think they're going to offload Xerxes, and you just got him.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, to make well, I think that puts us in the pole position then, because they've only just got Xerxes. If they get, I mean, talk about not giving someone a chance, don't they? Jesus.
Yeah, I
Kid's
mean,
only been there 6 months.
Columns. Somebody sent me something the other day. I think it was Colin mocking around in the chat, and he said that Vandovic had been offered to United for Zaxi.
Xerxes,
I
bite
mean,
the hand. If I'm United, I bite the hand off, mate.
I bite the hand off that. I think poor old Colin nearly fell off his chair laughing. Yeah, look, for me, I think let's get that deal done. Get it done now. Get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Do you know Levy needs to be out there tonight? He needs to be out in Paris tonight in PSG. Get it done. And announce it tomorrow morning. That's my view.
Playing devil's advocate, Dermo. You're a kid right? You're playing in France. You're not particularly a United fan or a Spurs fan, so you have no general. Where do you go? And if you choose one, what's the reason over the other?
I'd speak to both managers, and I would speak to the manager that fills me with most confidence. Then, and I also would look at the squad. I would look at the team. I would look at where the projects are. To be fair, United is only at the start of their project. We're now a season and a half.
We're a little bit further along, but
yeah. But
there's not much difference in the league position.
No, there isn't.
We're both in most of the cups. Obviously, we're still. You could say that we're still in the. As of right now, we're still in the League Cup, so you could say that there's slightly more chance of him winning a trophy with us.
Breaking news! Newcastle are 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Come on, this is what we want tomorrow night.
Well, at least Arsenal aren't winning the league this season.
We want a Tottenham Newcastle final. The teams that haven't won a trophy for years.
Yeah, I don't want Arsenal winning anything.
Anyway, let's get back to the build-up. We're talking about our new goalkeeper. He said Tequila about they were going to bring him in the summer, but they tracked him all season. He's definitely someone we're really excited about. Obviously, with our current goalkeeping situation, it wasn't easy because he's doing very well for his club. His club's doing well. They're in Europe and top of their league. The club worked really hard to get the deal done in the window. It's a huge benefit to us and adds real quality to our goalkeepers. It seems to be a Ange signing, Tequila. If he does turn out to be who we hoped it to be, have we just got a gem on our hands at the moment?
Call me skeptical, which I know people do. I don't know. I don't know how much of the Czech league that Ange Postecoglou is going to watch. We heard a lot of before he came in that he was much more of a master in quotations of the Asian leagues where he spent the majority of his career. Bringing in a player like that, do I think that he personally has asked for him? No, but the player was probably brought to his attention by the scouting network, and along with other players, and just had a look at him from there. And I would like to think that Ange does have a yes or no.
Yeah, I'd
saying this. But do I think that Ange has gone out of his way to scout this one player? No, it's probably a player that has been brought to him from Lange, along with other players, and said, "Look, do you want this guy to be your third choice keeper, or the second? Do you want this guy to fight?" And I'd like to believe that obviously Ange has looked at videos from the scouts and scout reports and stuff like that, and then made that decision. And then, of course, Levy. Let's be realistic. Levy also will have a say in it, especially when it comes to the fee. And Levy's obviously said 12 million. Okay, then worst case scenario, we can sell him in a couple of years because this is the way it is. we can sell him in a couple of years and at least get our money back, if not make a profit.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can really disagree with you on that, to be fair. Gary Becks, big up Gary. He says, hello. What's all this then? I think it's more shocked to see you back. So
I'm back, yes. How you doing, Gary?
That was a bit of a hello to you. Your goalkeeper is a Lang. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine he would
Johan
be.
Lang found him. Oh God, we've got problems then if he's found him. He'd be your number one. Then we'll see Vec leave. Keeley and Gunter will be 2 and 3. I'm really excited about Keeley, just Keeley, really, and Gunter as well. Goalkeepers are the most difficult players to prospect. You never know what or how they will do until they play a few games in the first.
Here's a question for you then, Dermo. I thought Vicario was doing quite well.
Yeah.
Do you think that his levels have dropped this year from last year to where now some of the management are saying maybe he's not quite the keeper we thought he was? We might have to go and be scouting around for somebody else long term. Do you think there's had those conversations? Because I thought Vicario was pretty solid last year. Yeah. This year maybe less so, but it's like, do you think that he's falling off a little bit in the manager's mind?
I don't think he's falling off. I think he gets bullied too much at corners. I think that's his problem. You want a strong goalkeeper in there that is going to take charge. Now, he has done better this season. A lot of people saying that he's done better, and he has done better for me. I think he's played far better than he did last season.
Boris and Neil
are both saying
that. No, I'm just saying that. Yeah, they're disagreeing with me a little bit. I thought he was. I don't think he's dropped off. I thought maybe he's dropped off, but people are thinking that he has.
Are you more talking about him being bullied at corners? Is that where you're getting at?
I just think people were much kinder to him last year. Maybe they would still. Maybe it was because he was more of a surprise, and maybe he set expectations, and maybe because we have shipped a lot of goals this year. Let's not.
Yeah,
we haven't. And then maybe people, I thought maybe people were starting to turn on him, but it doesn't look like it. Boris and Neil haven't anyway. So maybe it's just me thinking that.
No, I do agree with you. I think you're right to have doubts. I just think he gets bullied at corners too much, and I think he needs to toughen up, and I think he needs to strengthen up. I think he really does, and I think that's where his weakness is. He doesn't come out for a lot of balls. Where he could catch a ball, he punches it. And I think he has made a few mistakes. Saying that, I think he has improved from that season, but he needs to be better at corners. He needs to dominate his 6-yard area. That's his area. That is his home. That's where he should be. And maybe he should be getting help with a few other players, should be helping him out a little bit as well. You look at Brandon Austin on Saturday against Newcastle. He wasn't intimidated by the Newcastle. You see him there pushing them away. Just get away. This is my area. That's what I want to see Vicario do. And I think if he does that, I think then...
Can he learn that? Is that something that can be taught or not?
That's
or is it just
a
personal trait?
No, you can learn that. You can. Okay. You can be taught that. That's something that a goalkeeper coach should be teaching, should be dominant, should be saying to them, this is your area. You protect it. You do what you have to do. And that is any decent goalkeeper will protect. You look at the world best goalkeepers. What are they good at? Their 6-yard area is their area. You do not be bullied. They do the bullying. They are not bullied. But Tequila, before we get back to the chat, we've got a little League Cup over the years because we have played Liverpool a few times, sir. The first game we played them was in the 6th of December 72 in the 5th round, and we beat them 3-1. John Pratt and Martin Shivers were 2 goals. And we were defending champions that year as well because we won the League Cup in 71. We beat them in the year we won the League Cup in 73. We drew 1-1 away in the League Cup 5th round. I didn't find how we did, but we did win because obviously we won the League Cup in 73. Our first defeat to them was in the League Cup final of 1982 when we lost 3-1. Archibald gave us the lead. Liverpool, get this, Liverpool scored in the 88th minute.
Dermo, is that 100,000 people?
Yeah. That used to be the
Wembley.
At the old Wembley, yeah.
Bloody hell.
And that was our first ever cup final defeat at Wembley. in any cup final, that was our first cup final defeat. Which is quite remarkable. Yeah, it was. We played them in the third round in 84, 1-0, Clive Allen scored. And then we beat them, and then we drew 1-1 and lost 4-3 on penalties in the fifth round.
Good old Defoe.
A good old Defoe. We've got them in 2008. We won 4-2. Pavla Kensha and that player who should not be named scored 2 on our way. Is that? No, that's not the player who should not be named. Who is Campbell? Was that Fraser Campbell?
Yeah, probably Fraser Campbell. Yeah,
Fraser Campbell with 2.
The striker we swapped for Berbatov, and Colm's laughing his head off as he remembers.
Yeah, Colm should be laughing his head off. That was a damn stupid move. Should be laughing his head off. And then we lost 2-1 in the last time we played in the fourth round away at Anfield. Jensen with a penalty. In all 8 games, we've won 4, drawn 2, lost 2, scored 15, conceded 11. So look, over the years, we've had a good record against them, actually, Keeler.
Not bad.
But never played them in the semi-final.
I also don't know if you played them when they've been on such a run that they're on as well. We're on such a bad run compared to they're such a good run.
Yeah.
That I don't know if there's ever been as big a gap as there is at this minute. So
yeah.
Yeah, go on, laugh it up, Com. Go on, laugh it up, Com.
Where's he put the laughing thing? Because I can't see it.
Can't believe you
here we go.
Berbatov for Campbell. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
We will get to that. We got to that. We've got Gary said he'd be number 1. Oh yeah, read that. Neil Shafton read that. Data brought him to your attention. The scout watched him for 6 months. Nothing to do with him nothing to do. He's Irish, Dermo. Oh, this is Josh Keeley. No, nothing at all. Just my preference view of a goalkeeper. I just think he's a great goalkeeper. He's going to be Tottenham's number 1, to be fair. Nothing to do that he's Irish and he could be Ireland's number 1 goalkeeper as well in time. There you go.
Boris is
no bias.
No bias for Vicario.
Okay. I will get that. Do you want to read some of these out, Tequila? If I bring them up, do you want to read some of these out? Go on then. I did.
Boris is saying, honestly, I feel Vic has improved over last season. Fair enough. Like I say, It's like I didn't get that impression, but I've been out of action myself, so I haven't seen as much of him. Vic has done better this season, says Neil Shafton. This is before, obviously, the injury. Boris is saying the only downside with Vic is the bullying of corners, but otherwise he's improved a ton compared to last season. Yeah, I've got no problem with. I don't think we needed another keeper, but that's just me. I know that Forster had a virus, but the virus is quite a short-term thing. That's why you can see that he's nearly in contention already for the next match. So if you've gone and spent this money because Forster's had a virus, it seems a little bit short-termism for me, especially since Austin did well. So, Dermot, did you mute yourself? I can't tell.
Yeah. Just give us 2 minutes. I just need to do something. That's what I asked you. Would you mind going through the chat? Sorry.
All right, then.
Give us 2 minutes. I'll be back.
I see where we're up to. Calm saying, if you want this lad over Vic. Yeah, I bet you would. No, we're good. Thanks, Calm. Bear with me as I find out where we are in the chats. Gary Bex is saying Bird wanted out and was causing trouble. It was so late in the window. Fergie threw in Campbell to not lose deal. Yeah, I know. It was like more or less the last thing that happened that window, wasn't it? And I remember Sky Sports was showing Berbatov getting out of the car and everything like that. And it's like, yay, we're going to get Fraser Campbell. People say Levy is a master businessman. Maybe business, but not football business. I doubt over that. Chill Music is saying Paris Saint-Germain continue to insist that Kolo Mani deal must, in quote, be a loan with an obligation. So if they only want an obligation, I can see Levy kind of saying, well, you're not going to bully me. So that might put a nail in that coffin. Carl Simpson saying, come on Spurs, just get it done. I'm sure Levy will just for you, Carl. Carl also saying, I will be surprised if we see Forster again. Depends how good this kid is, isn't it, really?
Look, I think we need to be really confident with this kid that's coming in, to be fair. I really do. I think we're bashing him before he gets given the chance. And we do that quite happily at Tottenham. We really do. And I think we need to...
I don't think people have been bashing him, Demo. We just don't know enough about him. It's just a little bit pie in the sky, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we didn't know a lot about Vicario either, did we? Before he came in, to be fair.
No.
We didn't know a lot about other goalkeepers that have come in. And I think the goalkeeper's the most difficult position to pick as well. But look, it is what it is. I think everyone's right to their opinion. I think everyone should have the opinion they have. And I'm not going to criticize anyone's opinion for it. If you're for him, if you're against him, if you wait and see, then fair enough. I think that's the right. It's a bit like Ange. You have your own opinion. You should stick by that opinion. You should stand by that opinion. And I think a lot of people should. And I think a lot of people have to. And I totally accept that. Not everyone's going to agree. Would you love us to get Douglas Luiz?
Yeah, I'd be up for getting him from midfield. Yeah.
Who would he come in for though? Basuma?
Yeah, probably Basuma, Sarr. I mean, I don't think Sarr has progressed the way I was hoping. That doesn't mean I've given up on him. I just don't think he's progressed that much. So maybe you'd kind of rotate him with Basuma. He's better than Basuma. So you'd probably.
What about this Grealish deal as well? What about Grealish? I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a good idea. But
depends on the wage. It depends. It depends on the wages, there, mate. How much it depends on how much. If City want to split the wages, I don't know how much he's on. Maybe Com knows how much he's on.
Yeah.
But if he's on 200 grand plus, which I imagine he is, I mean, we're already paying 165 or whatever it is for Werner. Do you think Levy's going to want another 150 grand on the wage?
Do you get rid of Werner then? Is that the thing? Do you cancel Werner?
You're asking me if that was an option to get rid of Werner and plug Grealish in it easily. That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Because you're guaranteed free kicks for Grealish, aren't you? Though he hasn't been great at Man City, he has this potential to be a really good player.
He's on a different level to Timo Werner. Yeah. It's not easy.
But do you feel he hasn't fulfilled his potential, what he did show at Aston Villa though? I don't think he has.
He hasn't become this world beater that maybe people thought he was going to be, like the next Wayne Rooney kind of thing. He hasn't become that. He hasn't become to that level. I think Phil Foden has kind of taken that mantle, if you want to go by the City players. But that doesn't mean that he easily gets into a top 4 team. And if we're aspiring to be a top 4 team, then he's a player we should go after. Would he want to come to a team who's in 13th?
I mean, do you remember when Conte was in charge and we bought in Kulu and Bentancur and where we were around that time? And I think I only started YouTubing back then as well. I wasn't very long.
That was the Don. That was a combination from the Don and Conte's work. They probably put in overtime. Those two did to say to those two, because obviously they both came from the same team, Juventus. And obviously they had I know Paratici has a big connection with Juventus, so I reckon Paratici was all over that one, dude. Without Paratici, I don't think we get either of those two.
Carl, I mean, Gary says here, Neil makes a very good point. We didn't know about Bentancur or Kulu, other than they weren't starters. That's true. That is so true.
No, but Paratici did. His knowledge of he had very good insight into them, didn't he? So they were very well scouted. He knew obviously a lot about those two from his Juventus days.
Sorry.
What?
Yeah. I'm just sorry. No. Oh, I feel clean now. I just feel clean now. Sorry. That's better. Sorry. I just feel really clean. I felt dirty. That thing on me, I felt dirty. No. We do have a big game next Wednesday, by the way. Very quickly, the last thing I want to talk about, Tequila, because we have gone on for nearly an hour and a half, a lot longer than I thought we would, to be fair. Is I want to go over we'll get through the rest of the chat. Then I want to go over our January fixtures. I want your view on them. And I want to see, does your view sort of tally up with my view? But yeah. Do you want to go through the rest of these chats here?
Where are we up to?
I bring them up and then I'll
okay.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Carl's saying, I think the Grealish deal has legs, actually. Yes, so do I. I agree with you, Carl. Boris, 160k euros Lewis is on at Juve. Well, if we can get them to maybe pay half, then maybe Levy would go for that.
Is he at Juve at the moment? Is he not working out at Juventus? Is that the problem?
Apparently not.
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
He was good for Villa.
It was. I'm surprised he left Villa. Yeah, is it because he left?
Gary,
did he leave because of his girlfriend went to Juventus as well?
I'm not sure, mate. To be honest, Gary Bex is saying 350k. So that's Grealish. So Levy. So let's say City. We halved it with City. That would make him even more.
125. Yeah.
I don't know. Levy might be willing to do it. He might be.
I think that does have legs. I think that'd be a deadline day one though. That'd be a deadline. The deadline is on the 3rd of February, by the way, guys. We've got Neil saying Grealish steps on the pitch and ruptures his Achilles because that's the Spurs way.
Probably.
You could see it happening, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Even his debut for Man City, Jack Grealish, when he played against us. Do you remember that game where Sonny scored the winner? And he did. He didn't play well at all, did he?
No. I mean, he hasn't really been able to hold down a regular place in City. Then again, they've got, look at the talent they've got. Boris is saying,
yeah, go on.
Well, City has destroyed two English City has destroyed two English powerhouse players to be those were Phillips and Grealish. Considering Phillips was called the Yorkshire Pillow. I still think Phillips is quite a good player. He's been sapped of all confidence and everything.
Yeah.
But I think
Pirlo.
Yeah.
He was a great Italian player. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
That he was a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, take them both. Take Pirlo as well. If he wants to come. Carl's saying he thinks Paratici is all over the Douglas Luiz. Wouldn't surprise me, mate. It is Juventus again, isn't it? So. Chill Music is saying apparently the Don might be Everton's sporting director soon.
No, don't go anywhere near fucking Everton, Don. Stay where you are.
He's got a hell of a job to do if he goes to Everton. Bloody hell.
Near Everton.
Com saying apparently Xerxes is set to travel to Italy next week. Okay. Don't know how true that is, but it could affect the Colo deal. Plus Gala might be taking it. Anthony, sorry. And AC Milan want Rashford loan, so that is freeing up space.
I've actually read that Milan want Rashford. I can see Rashford going to the MLS. Do you know?
I can see it because I can see Rashford going to the bar.
So can I. For Kulu and Vlahovic, no, Kulu's coming to Spurs. You can have Vlahovic. We'll have Kulu.
Oh no, I won't. I'll take Vlahovic.
Yeah.
Gary Bex is saying thing with Bents and Burbs is that they weren't already at a club, and you wouldn't be signing them. I see both leaving in the summer. Bents and Burbs. Berbatov and Darren Bent, you mean? Or am I getting confused who he means?
I think he does means Darren Bent and Berbatov. I would say that.
Screw Darren Bent. Excuse me. Did he? Screw Darren
he is
Bent.
an idiot. He is an idiot. That's why Spurs need to move now. Yeah, and they do. They moved early. We've bought somebody. They bought somebody early in the window, which is unlike us. Our column said Luiz to City. Why would you want to go to a relegation side? Okay. Do you want to read these rest out here, and I'll bring them up here, Colin?
Boris says he left first, then they went for his girlfriend for the women's Juve team.
Yeah.
Oh, so his girlfriend's a female player. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
She's a Swedish international. You need just take a look at her. She's very good footballer.
Carl's saying, I just need us to react and get these moves done before other clubs react. Well,
Yeah.
when do we ever do that?
Yeah, just look at the private chat. I'll just put there Tequila as well. Louise wanted to come back to the Premier League, so a few clubs will be interested. Yeah, there will be.
I was going to say it, I was just going to say it, but I decided not to.
Go on then. I dare you to say it.
Oh, I bet you she's hot as well.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. I
feel
if
she ain't going to be 20 stone, is she? Let's be honest. Huh?
No. I feel if he went to Everton, he would be found some more dodgy stuff to get players in, and then he gets another 3-year ban.
Probably.
That is so true. I've just seen what Colin's just put in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Rashford nailed on for Italy. Colin says Carl Rashford can go to Azerbaijan for all I care. That is so true. I meant Biss and Bent. Oh, Bentancur and Basuma.
Oh.
Right. Here's a question. Out of the two, who would you keep? You got one to keep, one to sell. Who do you keep? Who do you sell?
Wow. Out of Biss and Bent, I'd keep Bentancur in a heartbeat. Bentancur actually has a brain. He might not have a brain when doing interviews about his colleagues, but he's got a brain when it comes to football. Whereas Basuma seems an idiot to me.
I call him the Uruguayan general. That's my nickname for him, and he is.
Yeah,
he's like the general in that midfield.
Yeah, he's got a decent IQ. Whereas Basuma, who does have, you could say that Basuma's got more ability, physical ability than Bentancur, but when it comes to the brain, Basuma's got a hamster in a jar.
Yeah.
No offense.
No. You agree. We've got Colin, ex-girlfriend. They separated. Oh, right. Okay.
So you're saying there's a chance then?
Yeah, there is. There's a chance for you, Tequila. We know it's not her footballing talent you're looking at, Dermo. You don't know that she's a very talented footballer.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why he was dating her.
Yeah, how much is it? Sorry, we're just ordering our takeaway for after the show, so I do apologise.
Get me one when you're there, bro.
Yeah, I will.
Go back to saying Biss and Bent's already at the club. If they weren't, Ange wouldn't sign them. Sorry, done that one. Sorry. Carl Simpson, Pervy Dermo. That's nothing new. Carl's saying Bentancur.
Oi, behave.
Exactly. Neil saying Basuma tends to have a more frequent ratio of brain dead. You're being very generous with how you described that, Neil. Much more generous than I am. But yes, it seems he has those lapses of concentration, for lack of a better term.
You look at it, Tequila, right? You look at the balloon advert. What he did, the balloon thing, right? Oh, I promise I'll behave myself. I'd be a better player. He gets sent off. I'd be a better player. We're never going to see the better. Basuma's brain dead.
I hate to get all Ange with you, but that's just who he is, mate.
You love saying that. You sounded so much like Ange as well.
That's who he is, mate.
I wouldn't mind Ben. I tell you, Bentancur, he is a solid player. I think he's far better than Basuma all day long.
It's not even close to me. Yeah, not even close.
And then Carl says, "What did you say last night?" I'm saying nothing. Right. Just to go over the last bit as well before we finish off the show, guys. This is our January fixtures. Of course, we've got the home leg of Liverpool tomorrow. We're away to Tamworth in the third round of the FA Cup on Sunday at 12:30. Then we've got Arsenal, Everton, Leicester in the Premier League, and squashed in the middle of that, we've got Hoffenheim away in the Europa League. Right. I'm going to go give score predictions. I want you to do the same, Tequila. So let's start with Liverpool. What's your score prediction for Liverpool?
First leg 2-1 to us.
I'm going for 4-0 Tottenham.
I love you, Demo.
Well, look, we went away and beat Man City 4-0.
Yeah, I know.
Can do the same again.
But we have 15 players available to us. If that.
Yeah. Now this is my problem. Tamsworth away. I'm really worried about this game.
I'm not confident we keep clean sheets against anyone, including Tamworth. So,
go on.
I would reckon that our forward line, even though people criticise them, including myself, I would imagine that we've got way too much in the attacking sense for them to handle. However, they will score on us.
Yeah, they will. So what's your score?
I'm going to go 4-1.
I'm going for 3-1. 3-2, actually.
Wow, okay.
I reckon it's going to be squeaky bum time.
No, I reckon we'll score like 3 or 4, and then we'll do what we do sometimes. We'll let them back into the game.
I love Boris's attitude. I just want to pump Tamsworth 10-0 so they decide never to raise the ticket prices like that.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard they've been a bit.
Yeah, they have.
A bit sneaky.
We've got Colm here as well. He's gone for 6-3 Liverpool. He's gone for a 2-0 win against Tamworth. He's gone for a 2-1 win against Arsenal, 4-0 versus Everton, 1-1 draw against Hoffenheim, and a 5-1 win against. Wow. I'll take that.
Thanks for being so generous, Con.
Yeah, thank you. Arsenal, North London Derby. We're going to do a lot of North London Derby stuff going up, guys. We're going to get Bobby and the other Arsenal fan who I can't think of his name at the moment going to come on. Brenny. We've got a lovely guest for Saturday booked, haven't we?
That's going to be a lot of fun, guys.
Do you want to announce who's coming on Saturday? We'll do it at the end.
Yeah.
Look, North London Derby. I'm going for 2-1 Spurs. What are you going for?
Away to Arsenal, I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal. Sorry, Demo.
No, it's fair enough. Your predictions. Everton at home. Bad run at Spurs win. So I'm going for 2-0 Spurs.
I'm going for 3-1 against Everton.
Yeah. Now, this worries me. This game, Hoffenheim away. I'm agreeing with Colm. I'm going for a draw here or 1-0 win. So my head says a draw. My heart says a win. I'm going to follow my Spurs heart and go 1-0 Tottenham.
Again, I don't believe in us ever keeping a clean sheet anymore. So I'm going to go for 2-1 to us. Believe it or not. I think we'll win it.
Yay. Leicester City, of course, the last game of January. What we're going for?
3-1 to us.
Come on. I'm going for 4-0. I'm feeling stingy.
Dermo, we don't do clean sheets.
I'm feeling stingy. I'm feeling stingy. Big up. Let's see if our predictions are right. Finish off with a few of these comments, guys. Gary Beck says, Bentancur plays next to Ugarte for Uruguay in the double pivot. He's sometimes the deepest player, except for centre backs and keeper, but he's played 8 and 10 too. Carl has gone for Spurs to win 2-1 tomorrow night. He's gone for 5-1 versus Tamworth. He's gone for a 2-2 draw against them lot down the road. He's gone for a Spurs 2-1 win. Spurs beat Hoffenheim 2-1, 3-2 against Leicester. Neil's just talking about meatballs.
Meatballs? Yeah, I don't mind meatballs.
Yeah. Gary's gone for an 8-0 Spurs first leg win. And then 9-0 the second, and then lose 9-0 in the second leg.
He's not wrong.
Only at Tottenham. He's gone for a 3-1 win against the Scum. Of course, come on. We can beat Arsenal. Gerard's gone for a 1-0 win. Gerard's gone for a 2-0 for something. 2-0 against Tamsworth. Is he gone for 2-0 away win? Yeah. Big up, Gerard. Great to see you in the chat as always, sir. Colm says you can beat Hoff, but it's sandwiched in, so it might be tired. Might be, but
yeah, but they aren't all that either, though, are they?
No.
Haven't they just signed that Gift Auburn player?
They have as well. The one we were after.
Yeah.
Gary's just gone 18-0 Spurs, 0-0 after 89 minutes.
Why not?
Why not? Go on, say it, Colm. Go on, Tequila, say it.
Night Guys, great show.
No, it's who we are, mate.
Oh, right. They've got Spursies.
That's got to be your new catchphrase. It's who we are. It's got to be your new catchphrase.
I say it all the time, but it pisses some people off. So it's like,
I don't care if it pisses anyone off. It's your catchphrase. I've got a new one as well, by the way. Night guys, great show. Thank you a lot, Carl. And then Neil says,
Carl.
beat the Hoff. Yeah, we've got to beat the Hoff. Used to love the Hoff back in the Knight Rider days. But Tequila, that is your first show back, son. Well done.
Yeah, hope it went well. Hope everyone enjoyed it, guys.
Yeah.
If my voice is a bit croaky, it's because I'm still dealing with all the sniffles, so apologies.
Go on.
It is
Do you want to read this one out from Carl?
Beating off the Hoff on the cockerel cock.
See, you've been caught out. It's not just me that gets caught out with that.
What do you mean?
Right.
I know.
Do you remember you used to do the Cockerel Clock podcast?
Yeah, but he hasn't written clock. He's written it.
Yeah, that's him trying to catch us out.
Oh, okay.
And he always catches me out because I always say cock or cock. Clock. I meant not cock. It's a joke. I'll explain to you later. We've got Colin. Spurs are going to win 26-0 against Arsenal. Yes.
Mate.
Dermo, no Spurs, Goons final. I know. It's who we are, mate. That's it. Poor old Bobby, he's going to get pelters. Tequila, great to have you back. It is great to have you back. And Tequila is so glad to have you back. You're now back on the channel. You're back doing some things. You're not around for a few days, so the next time you are on is Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be on Saturday, and we'll be having a special guest, won't we?
Shall we announce who it is?
Well, he may live in a box. He may live in a post. He may live in an office somewhere. Any guesses yet?
But some say he's everyone's nightmare, but sometimes there's everyone's guilty pleasure.
He's a very entertaining guy who does actually have football knowledge, but he's quite an entertaining chap. We think we're going to have some fun with him. It is Alex, Mr. Box Office. If you don't know, get to know is his slogan. So for the first time on the channel in a long time, I think, Dermo. I think he has been on before, hasn't he? But a long time ago.
He has. He was on.
He's going to be on.
I'm looking forward to it. I am so looking forward to that. It's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. As for his views on stuff, he's probably a little bit more on my end than yours, Dermo. But we're not going to gang up. Yeah. We will all have a nice conversation. But no, he's you know that he's got a lot of character, does Alex, and he brings that character with him. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Yes, he will talk in the third person. Yeah.
What have we described it? It's delusional Tron against Mr. Box Office, isn't it?
And I'm generally going to be the ref. I'm going to try to keep it, and we're going to let Alex and Dermo do their thing on each other.
Oh, that wrong. I wonder if I should do the thumbnail delusional Tron against Mr. Box Office.
Against Mr. Box Office, why not? Gary Beck's Richard Keys, yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, you're going to be the new Sky Sports presenter. Oh yeah, you haven't been on, have you, for a little while? I've just seen him getting slaughtered on Chris Cowling.
Oh, a lot of people give Alex a lot of. He's a funny guy though. More than anything else, he's a funny dude.
Can I just say, I've met him a couple of times at Tottenham personally, and he's one of the nicest people you could ever wish to meet. He really is. Yeah. But that is it. That's the end of the show tonight, guys. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your company. Thank you for the likes. And also thank you, big up to Fluffy Cockerel 1882 for becoming a YouTube member, becoming a bronze member. Thank you so much.
Big up, Scrappy.
Yeah. Don't say things like that out loud, Tequila.
Say what?
What you just said.
What did I say?
I'll talk to you later. A good guest. He has knowledge and loves the club. He does. Right. Thank you, guys. We're back tomorrow, of course, with Tottenham Team Talks with the watch along and, of course, post-match final score after where we're going to give you instant reaction to the game. I'm on at Dave's as well tomorrow. If you want to pop over there and support me over there, I'll be on the pre-match show, pump up, and then I'll be straight over to here for Tottenham Team Talks and then the watch along and then final score. So whatever you're doing, whatever you do for this evening, back the players, not the owners. And Tequila, do you want to take us out?
Well, I would say it's just who we are, mate. But I also will say, quiz. Lovely.
It's who we are, mate.
Just who we are, mate.
I never do it right. Can you do it again quickly? Sorry, because I didn't get the intro button right.
It's just who we are, mate.